How's the weather, YouTube? JinSwords here. Got an X and Y battle with a guy named WeavilePWNage. And true to his name, he has a Weavile. And I'm looking at his team. Galvantula is an obvious lead, and Charizard's probably going to be that Mega Charizard X, as that would make more sense with a Tyranitar, as Charizard Y would have conflicting weather with Tyranitar. And as you can see, I have Talonflame, which is not one of those 7 Pokemon I had bred earlier. And now I actually also have a Hitmontop, and I'm currently breeding a 6 IV Noibat. I have plenty of 5 IVs Noibat, so if you want one, just PM me and I'll trade it to you. For something else, hopefully a different 5 IV Pokemon that you have an extra. Because I have quite a few of them, but of course, it's much more difficult in time to breed a 6 IV one, because you can't actually control that 6th stat based on its parent. So we're just gonna get right into the battle. I wasn't really taking this all that seriously, just because it's whatever. I wasn't really paying attention at some points, so I made, especially in the early game, I made a huge misplay because I wasn't paying attention, and because of that, I actually started to try later on, but it didn't end up mattering. Yeah, the fact that I was starting to try a lot more did not end up mattering in the late parts of the game. So I'm gonna go for Substitute, as he goes straight for the Sticky Web, which is obvious, but I have nothing to do against the Sticky Web. So I just try to set up, and this is something that I actually knew. Sound moves actually go through Substitute, and I didn't know this. And I go for Swords Dance here, because I didn't know this, so I was just gonna set up. And I wasn't really paying attention, I just saw the fact that I subbed, so I didn't really know what happened. And I just decided to go for another Swords Dance, just because I was still behind the sub, and I was not really paying attention to how much HP I had. And I was predicting the Bug Buzz to take down my sub, because I thought, oh, I took one, so the next one will probably break my sub. So I went for another Substitute, predicting that, so I could get another Swords Dance, so then I can attack, but the sound type moves break through. That was a crucial misplay, which means that this Galvantula is still at full HP. So I just bring in Mega Lucario, because I can take the Bug Buzz. It is 4 times resisted, and he's going to go for the Volt Switch here, and it actually does a lot more than I thought it would do. That did a lot more. And I don't actually Mega Evolve straight up here, because I don't want to, well, the difference is the abilities that I have Steadfast, which might come into play later versus the Weavile, if it wants to fake out me, which is to get +1 speed, and then the Mega Lucario, which would just be golden. But he switches into his Starmie here and eats up the Aura Sphere. As he goes for the Hydro Pump, I'm going to switch into my Rotom, and I do not take that as well as I'd like to. It does a clean 25-30%, and I was hoping that it would do even less, but you know, it's whatever. Rotom took it well, you know, good job, Rotom. He brings in the Galvantula, and the Will-O-Wisp misses, and that's just bothersome. Now I'm going to stay in and hit him again with a Hydro Pump. I mean, all I wanted was to nullify the Sash that this thing may or may not have. And I would have switched there, take the Thunder, and I would have probably just sacked my Garchomp there. But it's whatever. Will-O-Wisp misses, it happens, just because it's 85 accuracy. Now that doesn't mean it's not going to miss, and now that I think about it, why did I go for the Will-O-Wisp? Why did I go for the Hydro Pump accurate? I was thinking the Hydro Pump had a better accuracy, but it doesn't anymore. So Rotom dies to the incoming Volt Switch, and he goes out into Weavile, and because I've switched priority, due to, you know, him having to go to his Pokemon before I get to switch in mine, so I get to see what he goes into before I choose what Pokemon I go into. So I go into Lucario, he goes into Charizard, and I'm just gonna Mega Evolve here as he takes the Aura Sphere, and he goes for Dragon Dance, and that was a really good play on his part, because he did not Mega Evolve, and I was predicting him to Mega Evolve, and therefore Orchard would no longer be not very effective, and it would take him down. Even so, it still does a decent chunk of damage, and now he knows that he can outspeed me easily, and he's just gonna Mega Evolve and go straight for that powerful Flare Blitz. Actually, I extreme speed here. I extreme speed, hoping that I can take him down before he takes me down, and he actually goes for Earthquake, excuse me. He didn't want to, take the recoil, because the recoil would have actually taken him down after my extreme speed, but the extreme speed is not quite enough to take him down. Maybe I should breed a new Lucario. I mean, I didn't actually breed that one, I just found that one in the wild with 3 perfect IVs, so I just took it. And it was modest too, so, hey, easy pickings. So I might want to breed one of those. I go into Talonflame here, because I know that I can outspeed him with a priority Brave Bird. And we don't mess around with threats, so I'm just going to go straight for that Brave Bird. He brings in that Tyrantrum, which is a clean counter to Talonflame. I mean, I could have predicted that and tried to switch to something, but there really wasn't all that much point to that. So I'm going to switch out of Talonflame because obviously it is a terrible matchup, and I'm just going to sack Chomp into whatever he wants to do. And if he decides to set up Stealth Rocks here, I know I could hit him hard with something, as he does, and if he got for an attacking move, then whatever, Garchomp is gone, not a big deal. And now that Garchomp actually is out there, I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake, and this does a lot of damage. As a Tyranitar, he's got really good defenses. Base 100 HP and 110 physical defense, I believe. That is nothing to laugh at. That is really, really good. And Earthquake takes him down from about 75% HP, 70% HP, so that's pretty powerful for Garchomp. And he brings in his WeavilePWNage, as he calls it. He is WeavilePWNage, so he is Weavile. He calls it WeavilePWNage. I'm gonna go into Zoomer because Zoomer can take any hit of Weavile to throw out. Ice, take it. Dark, take it. Fighting, take it. All for not very effective damage. And I can retaliate with retaliate with a superpower or a waterfall or something. So he's smartly going to switch out into his Galvantula. I'm going to go for the Aqua Jet, not wanting to take too much damage from the Weavile if he decided to keep it in. And there was, no reason not for me to go Aqua Jet. I know he's going to probably sack Galvantula and just bring in Starmie. So there's no point in me going for a different move. I could go for Play Rough, but even if he did, but that could miss, and even when he did bring the Starmie, I would switch out anyways. Just because I don't want to Psychic. And I'm going to go to Gardevoir here. Trace his natural cure. That doesn't actually matter too much, but I just feel like Gardevoir can really, hopefully, take some hits. He takes that Thunderbolt really well, so I'm praying that I can take the Hydro Pump after it. Praying. And he, true to the correct play, he goes for the Hydro Pump, and I survive with 22 HP, able to get that Thunderbolt up and take down the Starmie, so that's great. I believe it's 4-4? Not 100% sure on that. I believe it's 4-4 because I've lost my Rotom and maybe my Garchomp. No, I still have my Garchomp. Maybe it's 5-4, but now it's 4-4. He brings in his Charizard X, and I still have priority in the form of Azumarill, and I have to keep it around for this Charizard X because I don't really have much to outspeed it, and this thing is a powerful threat. I also have Talonflame, I guess, but I'm just going to for the Aqua Jet here. No, I want to go for Dex because, again, this is the major threat, and I don't want to be taking any damage, and I don't have to, so I go for the Aqua Jet, take him down. He brings in the Garchomp, and now is not the time to be testing with Aqua Jet, if Aqua Jet can take down Garchomp, because I know it can't, and actually maybe these two are my last mons, but I have to hope. Basically, this is where I have to hope that a Brave Bird plus Aqua Jet is enough to take down a Garchomp, and then the Aqua Jet is enough to take out his remaining Weavile from where it's at. And because actually these are my last two pokes. What am I saying? Those are his last two pokes. So what am I saying? I don't pay attention. So that's really what it comes down to. If Aqua Jet can take down these things, then I win. If they cannot, I don't win. And I definitely have to go for the priority move here, because with the Garchomp's Earthquake, even if it might not take it down, even though it probably will, Garchomp's Earthquake plus any of Weavile's moves will definitely take me down. And in the moment of truth, as I go for Aqua Jet, Garchomp survives with a few HP, and that is going to be the good game. I believe a 2-0 in his favor. It ends up being, actually, do I have another Pokemon? Yeah, I still have my own Chomp, but it's not going to end up mattering at all, because he does not outspeed either of these things. And, so he's useless in the game. I could have used him for Death Fodder, but there's no time to use him for Death Fodder at that point. And I was just hoping that and even now I was just hoping that Ruffskin would take him down, just because it would become a 1-0, and that would make me feel a little bit better. But, that is not to be. And it was a good game! Jack is his name. Jack? Yeah, so it was a good game. 2-0 in his favor. He still had the Weavile and the Garchomp. And now I know how much Choice Band Aqua Jet does from Inazuma 2 at Garchomp. I'm assuming that thing was offensive and not any defensive variation. So, good game, WeavilePWNage. Link will be in the description. Definitely check him out. Check out the Facebook page. That support would be really awesome. And, I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And see you all later, YouTube.